Well, hello and welcome to Coffee Conversation and Book Talks with Sandy. I am Sandy Sanders. I am the host and creator of the Coffee Conversation and Book Talks with Sandy platform and podcast. We are powered by CTR Media Network, where we are heard in over 350 viewers worldwide and over 100 countries globally. I am super excited to have you with us tonight to meet my tonight's guest. Yes, you saw the blast. We are on a 2-night special episode. These ladies are on tour. I am super excited to have the one and only Dr. Tashina Reader is back with us again with a super book. So listen, I want you to share it out with at least 5 ladies. And yeah, we do have some men that do join our audience. So go ahead and tag someone and let them know that, yes, Dr. Reader is in the house. And without further ado, how you doing, my lady? I love the hair. I love it. How are you?
Introduction. I am doing fabulous. Thank you for having me again, hosting these wonderful ladies of And Still She Rise devotional and journal that we are launching on Thursday. How exciting is that? So thank you, Sandy, again for having me and hosting the authors of this book.
Absolutely. Listen, you all, we are going to hear from CTR Media Network. And then when we come back, these ladies, they're going to be introducing themselves. And we're going to talk about this fabulous book that is about to be released. And we are super excited. So listen, I need you to stay with me because we are going to be talking about And Still She Rise. This is a devotional journal. It is not a tribute to the strength of women, but we're going to also tell you what it's all about. So listen, stay tuned, and we will be right back. Okay? Yes, indeed.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
Yes, CTR Media Network. And if you would like to be a guest, just simply go to www.CTR Media Network, go to the podcasters list, and you will find Coffee Conversation and Book Talks with Sandy. And just click onto the link, and we would love to be able to find a way how we can serve you. Well, on tonight, we are kicking off a 2-night special episode of Book Talks with Sandy with none other than, yes, Dr. Reader, and that's Dr. Tashina Reader is here tonight with the launching of her latest book project. And this latest book project that we'll be talking about is called And Still She Rise. As I led off just a moment ago, is that this devotional journal is not a tribute to the strength of women. Instead, it is a book of reflective messages with uplifting gems of reminders rooted in scripture, the human experience, and lessons learned, acknowledging that we are constantly growing and have faced obstacles on our journey. And these ladies, despite many challenges, they have persevered and strive to give their very best in when we and they do not feel equipped or capable. I'm going to stop right there because we're going to talk a little bit more further. Yes, and if you will, come on and say hello to us, Dr. Reader, if you will.
Hello again, Sandy. Hello, viewers out there in the virtual room and space. Hello, co-authors. There's actually 14 women who helped to create this devotional journey. So I want to also acknowledge day one authors who you see before you tonight. Without them, this book would not have been possible. So I want to thank each and every one of them for being present tonight and being a big part of kind of the result of the book that came today, the proof came today in the mail. I'm like, oh my gosh, is it actual book?
You were flipping through it. It is stunning. It is stunning.
Yeah.
I love the colors. When I saw, when I saw the graphic, I was, oh my, I love what you have done, what you've pulled out here with this. And so I cannot wait to have this conversation with these ladies talking about this anthology book project. And so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead, and as I see the ladies on the screen, they are going to introduce themselves, and we're going to have just a conversation. All right, ladies. Devlin Hill, if you will, come on and say hello to us.
Hello, 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 everybody. It's good to be here tonight. So excited.
And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Davelin, and I am a poet and a painter. I also enjoy Reiki and hypnosis. I use a lot of modalities to help folks heal, and I'm happy to be here tonight and to be a part of this project.
Awesome. I am super glad that you're here as well. And we have Dr. Dominique Vedrin. Yes, if you will, come on and say hello to us.
Hello, everybody. So very happy to be here. I'm Dr. Dominique Vedrin. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. I'm also an instructor. I work with graduate students who are becoming therapists themselves. And then I'm also a supervisor, helping those that are in training. So,
okay. All right. Awesome. Well, welcome to Coffee Conversations and the Book Talks with Sandy platform. Alana Joyner Stevens, come on and say hello to us.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you so much for this awesome opportunity to be here. So again, Alana Joyner Stevens, I am a mental health professional, case manager, therapist for people with severe mental illness and substance use. I have a business called Clean Homes and Organized Spaces as a professional organizer, where I utilize therapeutic intervention in the decluttering and organizing process.
Okay, awesome. I want you to unpack that a little bit later. How about that? Yes, indeed. Help me. All right. And we have Dr. Alicia Newsom. Come on and say hello to Dr. Alicia. Have I interviewed you before?
I think so.
Oh, too. You know, when I said, hold up, wait a minute. So Dr. Tashina, she's saying, yeah, she's shaking her head. So I've interviewed her before. Was she in your first book? She's in 2 books. Wow. Come on and say hello. In the second book. Got it. So come on and say hello to us. Welcome back.
Hello, I am Dr. Alicia Newsom, and I'm a functional medicine practitioner. So what I do is I work with women struggling with hormonal imbalances, really helping them find out exactly what's going on inside of their body and then resolving those issues without drugs or surgery.
Okay. All right. I love it. We were having an earlier conversation about the women things that's happening in our bodies. So thank you. We're glad you're here. And we have Gia Fraser. Come on, Gia, and say hi to us.
Hello, everyone. So I am Gia Fraser, coming out of the Virgin Islands. I'm a mother. I'm also a poet. I'm an Virgin Islands, just kind of basis to allow conversations like mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and physical health to be a normal conversation in today's society. Yes.
Awesome. And so we are, about to embark on an amazing conversation. Listen, those of you that are tuning in on our YouTube channel, thank you so much. I want you to tag someone. Do also subscribe so that when we have amazing guests as we do tonight, that you will get these notifications. Go ahead and share it on out. And we're going to get started. I want to share a little bit about who the visionary author is and what she says about herself. She says, who am I? I am a survivor. I'm a life enthusiast, author, speaker, therapist, and wellness coach. As a survivor of life circumstances, I suffered in silence for many years due to shame from intimate partner violence, cancer, and HIV contracted while married. Like many of us, I have had my share of life challenges that have become my strength and God-given purpose. As she talks about her results, she says, as a result of my transparency, I have been blessed with opportunities to speak, teach, and empower men and women internationally to move beyond their pain through education and sharing my testimony to bring about healing, self love, and confidence in others. My adversities have become my purpose of inspiring confidence in others through transparency. Her quote and her motto: an empowered soul has no limits. Come on and let's go professionally. You can. I'm going to put her link up about who she is. She has over 19 years of clinical experience. As she's written, is that I understand the challenges and importance of recovery process and public health education to dispel stigma and fear around treatable illnesses. My faith in action has positioned me in the field of public health at the federally qualified health center as the director of Community Health Training Alliance. In our current role, I create and collaborate, teach, and organize educational events and professional development training for leaders, educators, and direct care workers, specifically to public health topics around HIV, trauma, mental health, and other related issues. And we'll go into her bio a little bit further. Her education: she is determined to defy all the odds against what she has experienced, earned a master's in social work and a doctorate in couple and family therapy. She is a licensed social worker and holds certifications in prolonged exposure PE therapy for individuals who have experienced trauma and trauma recovery empowerment model. That's TREM groups for women and young girls. Dr. Rita, you have a lot there on that paper, but I know out of all of that, you have a heart for women. And we're so thankful for your sacrifice and your dedication to bringing awareness to the various things that you yourself have experienced. If you will, let's go ahead and lay the foundation of this book. And still she rise. Let's go ahead and lay the foundation here.
Thank you, Sandy. I'm often asked that question, like, how did you come up with the title? And if I'm honest, I was inspired by, I call her Auntie Dr. Maya Angelou, her infamous poem, And Still I Rise. And so whenever I hear or I watch her recite it through old recordings of her quoting her amazing poetry on various stages, I'm always moved by that one because she speaks to the resiliency of women, of people. And last year I gave my first summit, and I was toiling around with an idea of what would I call it, and it hit me. And still she rise. Now I know grammatically you wouldn't say rise, but I wanted to show an active, kind of poetic, and still she rise, because despite what we endure, we continue to rise above it. At least we try our best to rise above it the best way we can. And so this is more of a kind of a tribute to women, to remember who she is even while she's going through, because she's still she's still rising. And as long as we're living and breathing, we will endure things, but we continue to rise. And so that was the inspiration behind the title of the summit, which was actually a summit first, that this year, as I was beginning to plan the summit for the second year, I said, wow, I have this journal that I've never finished writing. I was praying about what would I do with this kind of unfinished project. And I remember being prayerful about it. And I was like, do a book? So I'm like, well, I don't want to do it alone, because I know there are other women who have a voice that can speak and share some pearls of wisdom. And so I didn't want it to be just any type of book, but I wanted it to be a special book where we're pouring in like a devotional, like we'll read to tap into, gain assurance, to gain comfort, to read something to help us with clarity. So this devotional, the short messages created by the authors, and some of the chapters also present reflective questions for readers to read and think about to help provoke change. I didn't want it just to be a reading about people's story, but I wanted to disrupt some of the thinking and narratives that we may have, but in a comforting and loving way, to cause you to think about perhaps where you are, and how you can still rise above it. So that's kind of how this book came together. And I'm so thankful that each person, so I had put the call of authorship out and I didn't know who would respond.
Yeah.
And then I remember laying in my sleep one night, I say, Lord, I don't know how this is going to take place. And he laid names in my heart. I'm like, all right, so I'm just going to ask. And I reached out and asked, and everyone said yes. Everyone. I'm like, oh my gosh. There was no question at yes. There were even a couple authors who I never met who reached out and it was like yes, and there was authors who I met in St. Thomas who reached out and said yes. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, right? And so, in fact, Gia was one of the women who I met in St. Thomas in December, and I was so excited when she was like, yes.
Yeah. That's amazing. So you are going beyond the shores, as they say here in the States, and reaching women. And so that's so powerful because Gia, you'll be able to share that, and you look and you see that we're no different. We all experience in these things in our life that are, I think they're part of our life. And so thank you and welcome. So we're going to let's meet our authors. How about that, y'all? Let's go ahead and meet these fabulous women. I want to go ahead and start with Devlin and let you come on and just share with us your experience of working with Dr. Reader and this anthology book project. You're a poet, you mentioned to us, and so writing, that's nothing new to you, but this experience.
Yes. Well, writing isn't new, but writing in this type of style is. Poetry is very exacting, and you're trying to get people to really step into your shoes and feel what you're feeling. And from this anthology, it's more about providing a way for people to see what they can learn from your experience that's also a part of their experience, to use a journal to think through using reflective questions and maybe even some affirmations, and then be able to use those to help them have resilience in what they're experiencing as well. So that's what we want to do. And I'm not going to tell you what's in my chapter because, why would you come to the summit then or get the book? So you're going to have to come to the summit this weekend to really get more about what's in my chapter, and just know that it's going to be worth it.
Oh my. So I know you gave us a little snippet. You can tell us just a little bit more.
A little bit more. Okay. I think so it's hard to take hold of some of the blessings and the riches that come to us as a part of our faith. And so my chapter is about taking hold of that. What does it mean to take hold of the riches that are available to us as we surrender ourselves in faith?
Oh, that's great right there. I love it. Of taking hold to the riches that come with our faith, I believe is what you said, right?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So
That is.
Yeah, but I was just going to say we need each other to be able to do that, because sometimes I'm not quite sure about how to take hold of that, but I might see you in your life and your faith and be like, I can learn something from Sandy, and she can learn something from me, and so we can learn something from each other as we wrote these different chapters to take hold of the different parts of our walk of faith.
Yeah, that's good. And so, did you learn something new about yourself in this process?
Yes. I think you learn so much, right? Because there's the practical parts about deadlines and about working together as a team, and you're not just doing your own thing, but it's a part of a project altogether. So all of those creative things, you kind of surrender a part of yourself as well to be a part of a group, and then trusting the person who's leading that they're going to do things that are also connected to you. And so I think we all trusted Dr. Reader to do that, to take our all of our ideas and put them together in a form that could go forth into the world and make a difference.
That is phenomenal because a lot of people that are not familiar with the writing experience or even putting together a book, Dr. Rita, is what comes along with it, what the process is. And then all we have the privilege of getting the finished product, but not knowing. And so as Dr. Rita has said, is that everyone said every person that you reached out, if I understood correctly, is that every person said yes. They said yes. You put the call out, an individual said, yes, I want to be a part of this, making an impact. And you mentioned about someone who you admire and her, famous poetry and poems, Still I Rise, the impact that Maya Angelou have on us, and still today, even when we read her work, she still has an impact on our lives. And so I would say that you, Dr. Tashina, you are making an impact in women's lives, and we so appreciate you. I'm now going to go ahead over to Dr. Dominique. Come on. Let us know, how has this experience been? And yeah, you connected with Dr. Reader and you said hello and all of that. So tell us, how has your experience been in this book project?
So this experience has been a very challenging experience for me because it led me to being more vulnerable than I like to be. I've had the privilege of working with Dr. Reader in various settings, in work settings, but she's also my best friend. And so when she asked me, like I said, it was a challenge in regards to being vulnerable. But the fact that it was a devotional journal, which would help people to focus on building and renewing their minds, as well as strengthening their faith as they experience certain challenges, I couldn't pass up that opportunity.
Wow. So she's your bestie. And so you have to see your bestie in a different light, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's teaching us. And I love it that we as women, we can come together and both of you, and I'm sure in leadership and in your leadership roles, but yet you're finding yourself, as you said, it's a little challenging, but you got it done.
Yes, I will say my bestie is Dr. Reader is a great leader, and it also helps to have a teachable spirit. So I am able to adhere to what the timelines that she's given, just as Davlin stated earlier, and being able to attend to those, keep with the limits that she provided, very instrumental in helping this process.
All right, awesome. Those of you that are tuning in, we are with Dr. Tashina Reader. She is the visionary author of the book that is soon to be released, And Still She Rise. This is a devotional journal that these women have come together with uplifting gems of reminders rooted in scripture, the human experience, and the lessons learned. And so tonight you are listening and tuning in. Listen, I'm going to be doing some sharing in the background. And while I'm doing that, we want to say hello. Brenda, I know you're doing some moderating back there. I do see you back there. Thank you, Brenda, for coming through. She's out of South Carolina. She's always coming through. I call her our ambassador. So thank you so much. Those of you that are tuning in also on our YouTube channel, thank you for tuning in. At this time, we're going to go ahead and bring over Dr. Alicia Newsome and talk to us about your experience with this book.
My experience has been great. This is the second book that I've written with Dr. Tashina. So, yes, when she asked, I said, yes, of course, just let me know when and the details and all of those types of things. I think writing the book, for me, it's always a grounding experience. And just, it was an opportunity to really be able to share in a way that can encourage others. And really, how Dr. Tashina had said, it's not like all like our stories and, all of those types of things. It's really us being able to give actionable things to people and to really be able to, give encouragement and love in a way that is really supportive.
Okay. I'm coming back. I was here. I was on the background. I was doing something. I was doing some sharing out there. But yes, it's a new experience for you. But yet, this is the second time you're coming through and sharing. What can we expect? Just to give us a little snippet of what you have written and what can we expect from your chapter.
So my chapter starts out with basically it kind of cuts into a scene of my life where I'm in the bathroom looking in the mirror and tears are going down my eyes or down my face. And it was a time in my life when I was leaving a very volatile marriage and rebuilding my life as a single mom. So
Mhm.
it really just kind of takes you a bit on that journey. But what I heard from God was to be still and know that I am God. So it takes you through that devotional journey there.
Well, that is great. We've had another author to join us that is on the tour. Hello, Melody. Melody Hendricks, come on and introduce yourself to us. Welcome.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. So, I am Melanie. I'm a mother, I'm a creative, and I am the founder of Dopamine on the Rocks. It is a mental health blog here in the Caribbean where I blend mental health and Christianity to help others find their true selves and
Mhm.
heal from trauma. Um, what else can I share?
Oh, you
Tell me,
can.
what else am I missing out on? I'm
Well, you are, well, listen, you're coming in our conversation of connecting with Dr. Reader, and just let us know about this experience of being a part of this amazing, amazing book that is about to be released.
It is indeed an amazing experience. And I choose to be vulnerable always and be
Mhm.
authentic in everything that I share. And I just want to be real with you guys that this was a roller coaster experience. The way that I started this experience is completely different than how I finished it. And
Mhm.
it kind of in a strange way ties into what I wrote in my chapter about
Mhm.
God being your director, because we're all in this. There's this one great story which is the gospel of Jesus, and he includes us in that story. So we each have our own story to tell in that story. But so when Dr. Redder put out the put her you know her messaging about getting this book out there, and I met her in St. Thomas, and she shared her story, and
Uh-huh.
I connected with her immediately because I saw myself in her. So now I here can share with others so they can see themselves in me. Because when the opportunity came for me to be a part of this book, I was like, yes, finally. Thank you so much for creating this space where I, a creative from the Virgin Islands, can share my story and get a platform. And she did it in a way that, it didn't take so much from us financially. So I was fully employed at the time, yes, a single mom, but I was still holding my own, had income coming in. I was so excited, my mental health, yes, things were not the best that, I would like to do, but I was still holding on. I was still trusting the process.
Yeah,
Could you
yeah.
believe, could you believe a month later, all of that turned upside down? I'm practically homeless. My mental health suffered, my income suffered, but the book was the only thing that was keeping me going.
Wow.
The
Mhm.
book was the only thing keeping me going. I had that to latch on to. I had that to pour my full self into, to inspire somebody else, even when I was going through something so terrible. And even today, so that's the first. So this book is also um something that I'm proud of, but it's also my personal testimony where it has helped me so much, because it has blessed me two times already. In that first
Mhm.
instance where I got the opportunity The second instance is today. I was feeling very low, and I opened up my chapter and I read this again, and it breathed it it breathed life back into me, and I reminded myself, and still she rises, because I could
Yeah.
look at my current situation and know that, you know what, God got me. So my
Wow.
third testimony from this is, hopefully, if it's doing so much in the production of this book, imagine what it will do when it's out there. So that's, I am declaring that from now, that when this book gets out there, it's going to bless somebody else. Because if it's blessing me in the process and the production of it all,
Mhm.
imagine when that other lady out there who's going through it the same way I'm going through it opens that book up and probably gets into Gia's chapter, my chapter, Dr. Redda's chapter, Dominique's chapter, and reads that message that we took time and effort and prayer to find the right words, ask God for the right words to put in that chapter for somebody else.
Mhm.
That in itself is a true blessing of this whole book. So that's all I got to say. That is all I have to say.
That is powerful what you've said. And I know that it will resonate. It will resonate with women all over the world, the viewers that will hear and your testimony and look to purchase this book coming up. Yes, the book launch, the bestseller campaign is kicking off on Thursday, and we will be talking about it. Yes. So we will be looking for your chapter, Melanie. For sure, for sure. Gia, come on and say hello and let us know how you feeling, lady. Okay, take
I
yourself off
feel
mute. How you feeling?
amazing.
What's
I
making
feel
you feel amazing?
amazing. First things first, like the fact that I'm here right now, as Melly just said, the opportunity to be able to be among such
Wow.
powerful women of God, to just share and share in the most authentic, most selfless way, to be able to encourage another woman who's, like Melly just said, going through it, who has gone through it and is still going through it, and who may go through it. They could actually go back in this book and be inspired and know that, listen, you are not alone. Just put your God, just put I like to say Godfidence. I'm always saying that. Just have that Godfidence and walk with that Godfidence and know that you are covered completely. So yes, definitely.
That's what's making you feel excited and having that confidence. You all are saying some key things, Dr. Reader. These ladies, I'm telling you, the gems that they're dropping. Um, as Dr. Newsom, she had said, when God, basically, she heard the Lord say, "Be still and know that I am God."
Mhm.
And each of the ladies are sharing how the Lord has led them in this project. And so it speaks volumes. I know you have a woman of faith as well. So this is what we're expecting, and to help another sister go through their journey of what they're experiencing and how they're going to come out on the other side. And yes, can declare, just as this book is saying, and still she rise. Y'all, on tonight, we are with the phenomenal Dr. Tashina Reader, along with the contributing authors of the soon to be released anthology book project, And Still She Rise. This is a devotional journal, and you've heard these ladies thus far that are sharing their experience with being a part of this book, as well as where they are now in this space. And they're headed for the bestseller campaign. They're about to become number one best-selling authors, are they not? Absolutely. At this time, before we bring on our next author, yes, Alana Jordan Stevens, what we're going to do is just share one of our sponsors. And then before I do that, I want to let you know that there is an event that the ladies have coming up. So let me go ahead and bring that forward. I got a little bit of music behind it. Okay, so what we're going to do, I need to share it, but you're going to kind of see it over. But I'm going to be talking, and we're going to go ahead that one out. And we're also going to talk about and I'm looking for the link. We've got the book launch that is coming up, the summit. And any one of the ladies want to talk about that? I'm going to put that in the chat. We've got the virtual launch on and the Saturday summit, the registration. I'm about to put that out now. Okay, let's see. Where do we have that? Dr. Rita, you want to come in and share about the upcoming summit?
Yes, so we have two things happening. This is, first of all, this is a week of all things And Still She Rise, starting off with today's interview and part 2 tomorrow with the other authors.
Yes.
On Thursday, we will be having our Amazon bestseller campaign, where we are going to push the book sales for our ebook for everyone and whoever you want to share it to
Right.
purchase our link to help us get to that goal of becoming the #1 Amazon bestseller for this new book. Then on Friday, we're having our virtual book launch, where you can come and celebrate with the authors of their accomplishment of the release of their new book. I have the proof came in today. So the book is actually pretty thick. You see the thickness of this? I'm like, okay, authors, okay. So the launch of that would be on the virtual launch would be on Friday. So all are welcome to attend to celebrate with the authors, maybe even ask questions, invite family and friends. And then on Saturday is the summit, our virtual summit, our second annual And Still She Rise summit with the lovely authors of this book, who will be sharing from their chapter, teaching rather from their chapter, And Still She Rise. And so we have a week of events on this month of Women's History Month. How awesome is that? We're closing out the month celebrating women and talking about how we as women, we still rise. And so that's what's going on this week.
Yes, you've got a lot of exciting things that are certainly happening, and I need each and every one of you. You know how we say in church, take note of all of the announcements, okay? But we will have all of this in the chat, in the group, so that you'll be able to click onto the links and go right on over and get your registration completed. So at this time, we are going to bring on, Gia. Gia and then Ilana, or who did I go next? Either one. Oh, Gianna, you have already spoken. It's Ilana. Yes. Ilana, come on and talk to us about your experience with this book project.
Good evening, everyone. So again, my name is Ilana Joyner Stevens, and I am, again, a mental health professional And I serve people that have severe mental illness and substance use, a speaker and professional organizer for my business. And I'm really excited because I didn't necessarily get the direct invitation from Dr. Reader. I got it from one of her really close friends who just sent me a message in Messenger. And it literally was one of the things that was on my vision board. So it just pretty much fell in alignment with it. So Dr. Reader and I have known each other from past circles. So this was just really a beautiful opportunity. And it really did cause me to think outside of the box, because
Mhm.
while I have so many life experiences there, I really had to really kind of get down pat what it was that I wanted to express and what I wanted to say. So of course I wanted to make sure that I came from the aspect of the organization and what that does for your mind, as well as what it does for your space. So that's more so what my chapter is focusing on, because I do believe that your physical space is often indicative of your mental space. So I'm really, really excited about this opportunity. And more importantly, I only knew, besides Dr. Reader, one author, the one who invited me. So really to see all of the beautiful women that contributed to the chapter, I'm so looking forward to reading everyone's chapter, and just to know that we're in more of alignment than I would have thought. So this is really amazing.
Thank you so much for your share. And certainly, when individuals read your chapter, one of the questions that I want to ask each of the ladies, when they read your chapter, what would you like for them to walk away? And I'm going to stay with you, Ilana. What is the one takeaway that you would like for us to walk away with after reading your chapter?
Great question. So, what I would like the individuals to walk away with is just that you're not in this alone, right? So, throughout the pandemic, we were able to be present with our spaces more than we even acknowledged. And some of us may have some challenges letting go of some things versus just really having an abundance of things. So, really just knowing that there are practical solutions that could really help you get to the root cause of why you have the things, and then really work towards letting those things go from mental perspective as well as a physical perspective.
That's great. Gia, how about you? What would you like for individuals to walk away after reading your chapter?
Oh, absolutely. So for me, I would like individuals to take home with them that they are everything they need to be successful. It doesn't matter what they think they want to do, just know that they can do it.
Mhm.
So as long as they know that they literally have everything they need to be successful in any way, shape, or form, that's what I want them to take home with them.
Sandy, you're on mute. We can't
On
hear you.
mute. I can hear you now. I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me. I'm sorry. We were speaking. Those of you that are tuning in to our Audible on our Spotify channel, thank you so much for subscribing to Coffee Conversation and Book Talks with Sandy on our Spotify channel. And so, as you are listening to these phenomenal, phenomenal women, we will have in the graphic bios, excuse me, we will have how these ladies, you can connect with them as they are on their author tour, and they're about to be releasing their ebook and on their bestseller campaign. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight with us. We are in day one, or this is a part one, part two interview. So this is part one of the 2-night special edition, special episode with the phenomenal, yes, Dr. Tashina Reader, who is the visionary author. Your background, Dr. Reader, as we have alluded to and read in your bio, how wellness and mental health and wellness, your area of expertise. And it seems like that has been a buzzword so to speak, I'll be honest, is that I ever hear everyone talking about mental health and wellness. And so we want to be clear that you are one with the expertise and the experience, and help us to understand just how important it is, and why are we hearing so much about mental health now?
That's a great question. I think when you think about wellness, it's always been a thing, so to speak. I think with
Yeah.
the past years of
Mhm.
since, in my opinion, I think during the time of COVID, when we all experienced worldwide a great deal
Yes.
of tragedy and changes, where we all had to pivot and
Hmm.
adjust to things that had provided us, some of us, some discomfort, um, being kind of stationary, if you will, in your setting with family and your children, and just a change of pace of things. And I believe when such an experience happened to all of us, all at the same time, if you will, we had to really kind of was forced to face. Um, our wellness, our well-being. How can we still take care of ourselves even in the midst of this change? Um I think for many, many years, I mean, as long as we probably have been living and breathing, there's always been something, not necessarily said, but something that we have done to take care of ourselves in various ways. I think we just become more vocal about our mental health, more accepting of people talking about their mental health.
Hmm.
We've been more open and embracing the idea of wellness, so to speak. Wellness isn't just about um, a self care, so to say, but it is an intricate part of our well being, our mental health, our physical health,
Yeah.
our spiritual health, our financial health, our intellectual health.
Yes.
We don't we There was a time we didn't really talk about those things, but I think
Mhm.
as we begin to evolve,
Yeah.
we're paying more attention to all of those um, integral components of who we are, what makes us who we are, and the things that we um, deal with on a day to day, and becoming
Yeah.
more in tune to how to still navigate that for ourselves, what works for us, and
Yes.
help us further along. And so I think it's subjective. It varies on each person, the person, how they choose to um, attend to themselves, with
Yeah.
resources, with a village of supports. Um, Even as a therapist, advocating for those who seek out such supports, and that there's nothing wrong with seeking out such supports. Because I think as a culture, we would oftentimes look down upon folks who say they need help or
Right.
for the therapy,
Hmm.
depending on where you're from, your background, the culture. It wasn't always seen in the best of light. So I'm thankful that as we've grown as a culture, due to things that
Yeah.
we have to endure together, that we're more open and receptive to the idea of
That my child needs some
our
help.
into our
My
wellness, our
sister
children.
needs some help. Yes, yeah, we've tried everything, and I'm so glad you, because that was going to be my next my next question, because we talk about it here on Coffee Conversation. That's what we do. We have the conversations. We talk about so that we can walk away healed. We can walk away empowered and inspired by such a book. Dr. Newsom, I want you could you add to this conversation? Is that why is it necessary and so important that we attend to our mental health?
Hmm.
Again, I'm probably older than all of you all. I have a daughter 42, so I had her when I was in college. But my generation, no, we didn't talk about it. There's nothing wrong with her. She just needs some attention. Then it goes on, I have children of my own, and I try to talk about it with my parents. Nothing's wrong with him. Nothing's wrong with her. No, there is. And when you know your children, so come on and let's talk about this, because I'm seeing we're seeing it now. It's more welcomed, but not as much as it should be. Could you add to this conversation if you would?
Yes.
Anybody else too after
So
Dr. Newsom? Yeah.
when it comes to stress, and I'll come in from the hormonal
From that angle.
standpoint.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah.
um, Stress our body doesn't know the difference if it's like an emotional trauma or it's, a bear coming after us. Typically when we're in a very stressed state, our body
Mhm.
goes into fight or flight. So if there was a bear coming after us, we're either going to fight or we're going to run away.
Okay.
And what that does is when we're in a chronic state of stress or we have unhealed trauma within our body and things like that, our body stays in this fight or flight and it produces the stress hormone cortisol. And I don't know if you guys remember, there used to be a commercial, cortisol equals belly fat. Well, yes, that's true, so it doesn't help with weight loss at all. But it also affects all of our sex hormones. So instead of our body producing the sex hormones that's needed, and if you were thinking about it, if you were trying to run away from a bear, the last thing your body would want to do at that time is make a baby. So it can create all types of fertility issues within the body. It can create irregular menstrual cycles. It can create estrogen dominance because progesterone isn't coming in to, that's an anti-anxiety calming hormone. But estrogen dominant issues are things like fibroids, endometriosis, ovarian cysts, all of those things are estrogen dominant issues. And there's other factors that play into that, but we really have to seek out the support and the help that we need to really
Mhm.
be able to calm our nervous systems and our bodies, because it doesn't just affect our relationships with other people or even our views of ourselves, but it really does affect our health and the inflammation in our body and our hormones and all of it. It's all very much connected. So for me, it's a holistic viewpoints and looking at these types of things and why it's so important.
That is that. I wrote down calm our nervous system.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Keep it calm. Yes, Alana, would you like to contribute to this conversation?
Yeah, so I think first of all, like I said, just meeting these women just has been amazing. So Dr. Newsome, you just really shared some amazing things that I just learned something as well. But I definitely agree with and just the sentiments that have been shared in terms of just what stress can do and how it just really plays a part in just how you operate and navigate. And again, just from my standpoint, as a professional organizer, what that does is that it creates havoc in your space. It creates chaos. So the acronym for my company is chaos. So it's really has a lot to do with when you have a lot of stress going on. Again,
Mhm.
the last thing you're thinking about is I need to do this. I need to pick up that. In fact, it gets worse and we tend to do a lot of avoiding. So it's definitely important that we tend to that and put those things into perspective.
So, by reading your chapter, would it connect with what you're speaking about now?
Absolutely. Because again, just like we said, in terms of what the pandemic has done, it caused us to really sit
Yeah.
still, to see a lot of things. We identified things that we need versus the things that we didn't need. And there was this whole kind of push to get your space organized, but it was coming from a Pinterest, Instagram, pretty perspective rather than, okay, outside of all these products that are being purchased, how do you
Yeah.
maintain this level of organization? And so
Yeah.
being able to unpack, all the things that are going on within to really help you maintain stability. And it's not even about, I don't even I mean maintain is for lack of better words, because again, you have your kind of ebbs and flows. You have what you call situational disorganization that may contribute to your space being a little more dysfunctional because you got married, you had a divorce, got a child, you got a new job, things like that kind of contributes to what your environment looks like. And so if you don't really
Hmm.
tackle what's going on inside, the stress that you're experiencing, your space again will be very indicative of what's going on inside.
Listen, we are having a great conversation, I believe, because we began to talk about the importance of maintaining our mental health. And Dr. Reader went down the list. We have our spiritual health, our spiritual well being. You have your natural well being, you have your physical well being. And so, having these women under the leadership of Dr. Reader, who is the visionary of this book, that will be soon released, the bestseller campaign. As I always tell you all that are those of you in our audience, that I need you to put it on a post-it note, put it on a refrigerator, put it on your head, wherever you need to do, because on Thursday, yes, these ladies are releasing their ebook. And we are super, super excited. Thank you all for tuning in. I want to now and before in the book, in the devotional, it is called And Still She Rise. Yes, and these are the contributing authors we are on tonight for our part one of a 2-night interview and 2-night special episode. I want to say hello to Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, she says, thank you for sharing your story. Dr. Tina Ramsey is the CEO and founder of the CTR Media Network. That is who we are powered by. And so thank you so much for coming through, Dr. Ramsey, for sharing and for supporting. And I'm so thankful. Dr. Dominique, if you will, let us know what's about to happen. Come on and talk to our audience. Tell us what's about to happen on Thursday. That's your bestseller campaign.
So on Thursday, we are going to be launching the book on Amazon. And so we really want people to go ahead. If you're interested, we really would appreciate you going ahead and purchasing the book when it comes out to become, Amazon's bestseller list. So that's what we are aiming for. It's what we believe is going to happen. But more importantly than that, And Still She Rise, we believe is going to be very helpful, encouraging people who utilize this devotional journal to utilize their faith to help them overcome some of the challenges that they are experiencing or dealing with. And so that's what we're looking forward to and aiming for.
Would you like to add a tip to our conversation that we were wrapping up about the importance of mental health and how we're seeing more individuals in our culture, yes, that are receptive and receiving that? Bottom line, y'all, when something's happening to our loved ones and they've been sleeping in the bed too long and you've taken them to the doctor, everything seems to be checking out fine, but something's happening with your loved one, or how important checking in, how important is that, Dr. Dominique?
So checking in with your loved ones is very important. As Dr. Newsom mentioned earlier, as well as Elena shared earlier as well, mental health is important, and it's important in every stage. In childhood, adolescence, and throughout adulthood, it's vitally important. It's important for us to recognize that it does affect how we think, how we feel, and how we act. And utilizing a holistic perspective, when we think about, our mental health, it's also important for us to be mindful about, especially as women of faith, how the spiritual component of our health can enable us to deal with some of the challenges that we're experiencing. And so, once again, this is why I'm very thankful to be with these co-authors, as well as under the leadership of Dr. Tashina Reeder, with regards to the journal, devotional journal, And Still She Rise.
Awesome. Miss Evelyn, is there any last words that you would like to say? We're about to wrap this up. We got a couple of more. We're going to be coming back tomorrow night with Dr. Reeder, along with another group of authors. Would you like to share anything else about this amazing book and about what's about to happen on Thursday?
I think I'd like to just share an additional component of our health, which for me is thinking about somatic practices, such as taking time to check in with your breath, about how you're breathing, checking in about what you're feeling in your body. I know for me, a lot of my life was spent living from here up, where it's like, what do you think about something? Really valuing logic and intellect. And I think that caused a little bit of an imbalance between what's actually going on in my body. How am I actually feeling? Because our words land in places, and it lands in our body. And sometimes, people will say butterflies in my stomach, or my shoulders feel heavy, or my back feels like I've been carrying a load. And those are little warning signs for us to check in. How am I doing in all of these other areas? So I think it's really important to think about our somatics.
Yeah, I love it. I can't help but talk about the tree behind you. It's all light. What's the method behind it? Come on, talk to us.
Look, I think so. Why do we have only a certain time of year when we could be surrounded by joy and happiness and light? Why is it only during Christmas? I think whenever you need some time in your life to bring some joy, whatever brings joy to you, do it. And don't really be concerned about what the world around you thinks. So if you need some joy, add a Christmas tree to your life. I promise it'll help. Promise, promise.
I love it. I love it. That is a worldwide message right there. I am going to Dr. Tashina. Anything is on your mind that we need to cover here? I'm pulling up some stuff here. I want to get these links in here too.
Just want to thank all of you, each and every one of the authors, for being a part of this project. Again, without you, this would not have been possible. So I am truly thankful for your yes and your involvement in making this happen. So thank you, and I appreciate you all. And to the viewers, you are invited to attend our virtual book launch on Friday. I believe Sandy will be putting the link somewhere on the site, and also the summit taking place on Saturday. So you're invited. We hope that you can attend. And on Thursday, our book will be live on Amazon. I received the proof today. I'm so excited. We have a book, and it's thick, y'all. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have a book.
Yes.
We have a book. And so
It is thick. You got everybody hold the back up.
everybody's on the back, and their pictures and their bios are all inside.
Oh, so
And
beautiful.
what the authors don't know is that their authors' copies have arrived, and I will be shipping them out to you guys this week. So I'm excited. We're done.
Excited.
90
Yeah.
days, guys. We did this. We started in January, and we
What?
are ending. Yes. And we ended strong with the book.
Talking about women empowerment. Yes, indeed. You did it. You did it.
We did it.
And the month has not even ended. What a way to end this in your 90 days coming up this weekend. Listen, it is in the chat. It's on both Facebook as well as the YouTube channel. Click onto the link. When you go to the link, it is the job form. Register. Come on in and join these ladies. Come on and let's celebrate. Let's be there to celebrate them, congratulate them, and most of all, as I say, Book Talks with Sandy, it is for you. Why do I say that? Because you just might be looking for a good book to read. We want you to support these phenomenal women. At this time, it is without what I usually do is recognize, and Melanie, anything on your heart that you didn't get a chance to say? I'm going to give you about another minute or two. What you got to say to the ladies?
Oh gosh, just surrender to the process. Just surrender to the process, because you will be so surprised the moment you surrender and just let God. He blesses you the same way he blessed me. So I forgot to mention that there was a moment that I couldn't pay for my deposit for the book, and the moment I surrendered, I was in church, and and something just said, just let it go. And I texted Dr. Ritter and said, Dr. Ritter, I can't come up with a payment. Just do what you have to do. Just scrap me from the chapter and just let the other ladies do what they have to do, because the book needs to be done. And she said, well, guess what? Your chapter has been paid in full. I'm like, what? And I'm like, I'm in the middle of church. So just surrender to the process, because too long, like I said in my chapter, God is the director of your story. He's the author and the director. But too many times we want to take the pen and write the story ourselves. And sometimes we just have to just go along with the storyline. So just surrender to the process, and he will take. And that's not easy to be done.
Wow.
But I would say it's worth it in the end. It's worth it in the end. Surrender to the process.
My goodness, look at God. Just look at the Lord. Want to start with each of the ladies as they go. Before we have Dr. Rita to give us a final comments, I'd like to start with Dr. Newsome. Let us know a little bit about how we can reach you, where the audience can follow you as well. And if you want to do a last pitch on the upcoming event, go right ahead.
So you can reach me on any of my social media handles. It's just Dr. Alicia Newsome. My website is also dralicianewsome.com. So pretty easy to find me. You can also just Google my name and I come up as well. And yes, we have our launch this Thursday coming up. So go ahead and keep an eye out for information about that. You will want to go ahead and head to Amazon on Thursday afternoon and buy your ebook. It will only be $1.99 at that time. So it's the perfect time to get the book. And you'll be able to just download it right onto your phone or your Kindle right then. Just make sure to do that, open it up. And you are going to really be blessed by all of the devotionals and the stories that are inside of that book.
Awesome. Dr. Dominique Vendrine, if you'll be next.
Yes, just like Dr. Newsom stated, we're looking forward to Thursday. It'll be live. The book will be live on Amazon. So definitely want you to go ahead and check it out and order one of those books, or two or three if you like, and share it with other loved ones. That's also an option. You can reach me. You can just Google my name. But I do have my private practice for Dreams Healing Services. Just go on that website and contact me. I'm licensed in multiple states, so I look forward to hearing from any of you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Those of you that are watching on a YouTube channel as well as the Facebook page there, just click onto the link of these ladies and you will be able to connect. But most of all, we want you to be there on Friday night for the virtual launch. And so we're going to, let's see, who do we have? Alana, if you will, come on.
Yes, Alana Joyner Stevens again. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Alana Vernay, or AKA Alana Vernay on Instagram. But in terms of my business, you can find me at Redefining Chaos on Instagram and Redefining Chaos 215 on Facebook.
Okay. All right. So we've got here at Redefine Chaos. That's how they can find you right there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And you can also, my email address is redefiningchaos@gmail.com if you want to email me.
Okay. All right. Y'all got it. And we have Gia.
A quick comment.
Sure.
Can I just let Alana know I'm loving her voice? I'm like, I feel so soothed and calm, and you have a radio voice.
Are you feeling that, Alana? It's like I want her to talk some more. Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
See, she did it again. We needed this tonight. We needed you. So you are in the right place at the right time at the right moment. And yes, I'll probably let you tell everybody good night before we end it. Okay. Come on, Gia, with your exciting self. You are just, you're such a bright and excited and all of that excitement is oozing out of you. Come on and do your pitch and how people can follow you.
Listen, I'm so happy that Dr. Rita said that because I thought it was just me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just wanted to speak all the time. Like, Alana, your voice is so soothing. I'm so happy it wasn't just me. We're definitely making shift happen. Definitely making shift happen where it all began with Dr. Tashina. I just want to share because I didn't say it before, but when I met Dr. Tashina at St. Thomas, one of the things she was talking about was the making shift happen. And in that moment, I knew that I needed to be more intentional with me when it comes to doing God's work. So I just wanted to share that she really like put a lot of perspective. She kind of put things in perspective for me in that regard. Also, I would like to say that manifesting her, right? Manifesting her is definitely something that we needs definitely something that we need to do. And you can definitely reach me at personally, my IG is ocean_peace_love. That's my personal Instagram page. And business wise, Facebook, it's Stay Golden BVI. And my email address is staygoldenbvi@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yes, we will have Miss Joyner Stevens. Yeah, she'll say something else before we leave tonight. For sure, for sure. Let me see who's left. Who's left that I was trying to get a banner
I,
up
I,
for
I think
someone.
I haven't gone. I can go if you want me to. This is Davelin.
Oh,
Um,
Devlin, yes. Come on.
yes. So Davelin, you can reach me at athena.willow on Instagram, and
Got
that's
it.
probably where I prefer all of it to come for all of your coaching needs. There's some equity consulting, as well as writing and creative coaching. So come my way if you want to work on that.
Awesome,
And
awesome.
want to see you Saturday because the summit. I think when we get to expand on all of our chapters, it'll go even deeper, and it's opportunity to maybe get to know us even a little bit more. We'd love to see you there.
Absolutely. And yes, we've got your information there. You can be found on IG, TikTok. You do TikTok too? Go ahead, girl. Yes, indeed. I love it. I love it. Has everyone shared their information? I believe everyone has shared. Okay. Well, Dr. Reader, we're about to wrap it up for tonight. We'll be back on tomorrow night for part 2. And we've had an amazing conversation tonight. I hope you guys have had a great time. And yeah, we're going to go ahead, as is always our custom here on Coffee Conversation and Book Talks with Sandy, that we yield back and allow our visionary authors of the book projects to come and just share their heart. She will be back with us on tomorrow evening, along with another group of amazing authors. I will be running the information again so that you all can register, excuse me, for the upcoming event on Friday. So, Dr. Reader, if you will.
Again, thank you, Sandy, for allowing us to grace your platform to share about our new book, And Still She Rise. Again, thank you to the authors present with us today. Again, without you, this book would not have been possible. And to the viewers, how about tonight? How about the authors who shared a little bit about themselves? But don't worry, you can hear more about them on Saturday. Please attend the summit and Still She Rise Summit. It will be streaming live via StreamYard. So please register with the link that's being shown below. And our virtual book launch will be on Friday. Again, thank you guys for taking the time out to visit us. This was a heart project, so to speak, a heart project in a sense that we poured our hearts out, our love out, our pearls of wisdom, things that we've learned, things that help ground us in this book that you will receive on Thursday with your support in helping us reach Amazon #1 bestseller in the ebook, which is $1.99. Or if you choose to, you can also purchase the physical book for $21.99 as well. They both will be live on Thursday. So again, thank you for taking the time out to watch us. Stay tuned for tomorrow with the other half of our authors who are also part of this book. As we said earlier, there are 14 authors as a part of this devotional journal. And so we're excited to hear from them. And so have a great rest of your evening and stay tuned.
Absolutely. On tomorrow night, you can expect we will have Dr. Joanna Bryan, Christine Addison, Armina Dominique, Charlotte Gordon, Abigail Harry Patrick, and Dr. Miata Hampton. So we are super excited again. And Still She Rise. This book has tips and tools, uplifting gems of reminders rooted in scripture. As you have heard these ladies right there, they have given God all the glory for how it, I think that's the common thread. Excuse me, Dr. Reader, that it has been the common thread that it is these ladies' faith in the Lord that has kept them. And now they're penning it on paper for us and inviting us into their world. That takes courage to be an author. It takes courage to write the most intimate things about your life and that you put it on paper. So I applaud you. I commend you and salute you and congratulate you in advance on becoming #1 bestsellers. All right. We're speaking it and we're calling it into existence. I am Sandy Sanders. I am the host and creator of this award-winning podcast, Coffee Conversation and Book Talks with Sandy. It is authors such as Dr. Tashina Reader, visionaries that come on our platform, and authors that bring along authors such as these amazing, amazing women. We are not a podcast without you. We cannot reach people alone. So it is because of authors such as these ladies that have joined our podcast on this evening to come and share. Please do share this out with another sister. And by the way, I want you all to share it out, and let's meet them here again on tomorrow evening, right here on Coffee Conversation and Book Talks with Sandy. I am full right now. I am so full because we are living in a world, we're seeing people, we're seeing young ladies, young women that are leaving this earth at a very early age. We're seeing our African American girls, young girls, fighting against one another. And I'm in my last leg of life. What I mean by that is that I'm in this stage, my second half. And if I do anything, if I can sit on this side of a screen and be able to have individuals such as these amazing women, whatever we can do to bring the harmony and the peace back into our sisterhood, into our daughters, to our nieces, our sisters, our besties. This is what we do. Dr. Reader, thank you. Ladies, Dr. Newsome, thank you for what you do. Alana, thank you for what you do. Dr. Dominique, Devlin, thank you what you do. Melanie, Gia, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know what else to say, but to God be the glory. To God be the glory. To God be all the glory. All right, guys, you know that I love you. Any last words before I go? Is there anything? That's it? Anything else?
Buy the book. Buy the book on Thursday.
Yeah, who wants to buy the book? Okay. She say, Miss Sandy, don't forget that. Yes, we want you to buy the book. So we did put it up. We want you to click onto the link. We not only want you to buy the book on Thursday, that is Thursday. We're going to talk about it. You'll get the reruns and all of that good stuff. Friday is the virtual launch and Saturday is the summit. So we want you to be a part of this from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Just make it a weekend, okay? All right. Listen, you guys know that I love you. Stay with me in the green room, ladies. And we will see you back here on tomorrow night. All right. Take care.